The trans-Saharan slave trade. For more than 1,000 years, the vast Sahara Desert was not just a barrier, but a bridge. Across its dunes and rocky plains, caravans carried goods, ideas, and tragically, human beings. This became known as the trans-Saharan slave trade, one of the oldest and longest-running systems of human trafficking in history. It began as early as the 7th century, after the spread of Islam into North Africa. Arab and Berber traders sought enslaved people from sub-Saharan Africa, exchanging them for salt, horses, weapons, beads, and textiles. Enslaved men and women were considered valuable commodities, just like gold or ivory. The capture. Most captives were taken through raids and wars in regions south of the Sahara, places like Hassaland, Bornu, Mali, and along the Niger River. Some were sold by rival chiefs, others kidnapped by raiders, and many were victims of conflict. Once seized, they were bound together, marched northward, and absorbed into caravans. The desert crossing. The Sahara crossing was grueling. Caravans sometimes stretched for miles, with hundreds of camels carrying salt slabs and cloth, while chained captives walked in the scorching heat. Water was scarce, and deaths were common. To traders, enslaved people were both labor and merchandise, and their survival was crucial to profit. Yet many perished from thirst, exhaustion, or disease. The markets of the north. Upon reaching oasis towns like Adamis, Timbuktu, Tripoli, or Marrakesh, captives were sold in bustling markets. From there, they were dispersed across North Africa, the Middle East, and even parts of Europe. Men were often used as soldiers, guards, laborers in fields and mines, or porters. Some became eunuchs in royal courts. Women were frequently forced into domestic servitude, concubinage, or marriage. Beauty, youth, and skills determined their price. Children were taken because they could be assimilated more easily into new cultures. A system that lasted centuries. Unlike the Atlantic slave trade, which spanned about 400 years, the trans-Saharan system lasted for over a millennium, from the 7th century well into the 19th century. At its height, hundreds of thousands were trafficked each century. It reshaped entire societies. Some African states grew wealthy by capturing and selling their rivals, while communities on the losing side were shattered. Cities like Timbuktu and Kano thrived as trading centers, built on both scholarship and slavery. The end of the trade. The decline came only in the late 19th and early 20th centuries under European colonial rule, when international abolition movements forced an end to open slave markets. But by then, millions of lives had already been uprooted, and the legacy of this trade, displacement, cultural loss, and deep scars remains etched into African and Middle Eastern histories.